other things too.
We love you, Johnny.
Whoa! Sometimes people will come up to me at the end of the show and they say, how did you end up becoming a sword swallower? And sometimes I think about it myself, how did I end up with this job, swallowing swords? And I think back about what may have influenced me to do these things, and usually it comes up with the family. I had some unusual relatives in the family. I'm sure a lot of you have unusual relatives. I chose to embrace those unusual ones, a few of who I'll never forget. The one who stands out the most is my Uncle Louie. I remember as a kid growing up, we used to go to visit the grandparents, and Uncle Louie was always there, and Father would always say, go shake your Uncle Louie's hand. And I'd say, no, I'm not shaking his hand. Because I remember twice when I was a kid, about 5 or 6 years old, I went over to shake his hand and said, hi, Uncle Louie. He said, how you doing, kid? Squeezed my hand so hard I dropped to my knees in pain. Ah! I'm not making this up. Grown man squeezing a 5-year-old's hand. So you see that, kid? That's not a hand, that's a meat hook. What? Didn't like Uncle Louie for a long time. And then I found out how to have fun with Uncle Louie. I was at the dinner table. The kids would just want to get the dessert and go outside and play because there'd only be like an hour of daylight left, and there'd be Aunt Ruth going really slow.
I gotta chew your food 100 times, kids. Chew it 100 times.
We'd be like, come on, give us the dessert so we can go out and play. This is where we get Uncle Louie involved. Whoever was sitting closest to Uncle Louie, it was their job to give him a little rib shot and say, Uncle Louie, sing a song. Now's the time. Sing a song. He used to sing these crazy songs. I'll never forget him. My favorite song he used to sing, it goes, I'll sing it for you. It goes, don't you know potatoes have eyes? Don't you know potatoes have eyes? That's it. But you sing it really loud and everyone would go, and they give us their dessert and they say, go ahead, get out of here, go play. Uncle Louie, never forget him. He showed me how to roll a coin across the knuckles. He was the one that first taught me that. He said you have to keep the knuckles pointed down so that the gravity works with you. And then you nip the coin, you just nip it and goes over, and the pinky comes up a little bit higher, and you can start again and do it again and again. And I figured if I was going to learn to do that, I would have to learn to do it backwards as well. So I started practicing forwards and backwards, and then both hands, forwards and backwards and forwards, and yeah, I know, just swallow the sword. Not yet. I used to practice this thousands of times a day, so I'm going to do it. I used to stay up into the wee hours of the mornings practicing this sometimes. Sometimes sleepless nights. Sometimes I'd scream out, God, there has to be an easier way. One night I found an easier way. It's sort of like this. Two at a time in one hand. That's called the steeplechase. One chases the other, the steeplechase. I've given them nicknames to keep them getting bored. Steeplechase, then the porpoises, where they weave in and out through the fingers. Up and down through the fingers, the porpoises. And then another one to the right, so there's 3 in the right. And another to the left. And another to the left. 5 between 2 hands. And then the big one, 5 in 1 hand. Yes, brace yourselves, here it is, 5 in 1 hand. That's the one you want to clap for, okay. 5 in 1 hand, I can do it. It happens differently though, like this, edgeways. I drop that just to let you know there's nothing sticky holding them on the fingers. Pulling the coins edgeways, much more difficult because there's less surface space to grasp onto. I'll get it, and I'll do it without looking. I've seen it before, I know what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 5th coin comes into view when the hand is closed and reopened. All 5, one balanced on each fingertip. Voila! This one here, look at this. You let go of the coin drops, right? Gravity, Isaac Newton's law of physics, gravity. Watch this though, take away the gravity for a split second, it goes back up, and I didn't throw it up. There's nothing attached to the coin either, no threads, strings. The mystery of levitation. You know, 500 years ago, if I'd have done that, folks, they'd have said, burn him, he's a witch. Today they just go, so what, just swallow the sword. No, not yet. We're going to do the oldest trick known to exist. The oldest trick in the book. This is it. Hieroglyphics in the pyramids of ancient Egypt show this being performed before the pharaohs. 2500 BC. Cups and bowls. 3 cups. Also, I have 3 balls. Aren't I the lucky one? And the cups have numbers for this. Position numbers. 1, 2, and 3. Very simple. Position numbers. 1, 2, 3. It'll make it a little easier to follow as things get going. An illusion first with the cups. The illusion cup number 2 penetrates cup number 1. Cup number 3 as well penetrates cup number 1. And if you believe that, the rest of the trick will be real simple. It's an illusion. The cups are solid. Of course. Solid. Whoa. Doesn't look so good from the side, but it fools them. Yeah, it's a magic stick. Hey, ha, 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 Very slowly and deliberately, the balls go under the cups. No sudden movements. The balls are under the cups. Now I strike the cups, and the balls disappear. And I strike the cups again, and the balls come back. Baffling, isn't it? All right. Watch this. The ball at position 1 disappears, comes to position 2. And the ball from position 3 leaves. Watch it, I'm very quick. Just happened. All 3 balls now in the middle. That's good. Don't applaud, let it accumulate. Use the magic stick for the rest of the trick. Keep your eyes on the little red balls. One by one, the balls will vanish from the fingertips. Simply by taking the ball and tapping the hand, it's gone. And I'll do it again 2 more times. I can do it slower. Take the ball, tap the hand, gone again. It doesn't matter. Look, leave the ball right there. It's nothing but a stick in a ball, folks. There's no tricks up the sleeves. Sometimes I get away with that one. Watch this though. Hup! All 3 back under the cups again. Wake up! Back under the cups. From position 2 to position 1. Look, no balls and 2 balls. And no response, but that's all right. Do it the other way. Either way, left to right, right to left, no difference. Keep watching. 2 on the bottom, 1 on the top. My favorite position. Watch what happens. Ball goes up 1 cup. See, it used to be there. All right, I'll do it the other way. Goes down. Here, I'll make this a little easier to follow by eliminating 2 of the balls. Take away that one there and this one as well. Stacking the cups and only using 1 ball. Watch this. The ball will penetrate the top of the cup. Solid through solid, as if there's a trap door there. Look at that. Unbelievable. Even changes the shade of color. Comes back again over here. But it doesn't just come back. Of course not. I'll show you what happens. Look, here's what happens. When I take the ball, what happens is nothing. I take nothing. I look at the hand I want you to look at, and you look there too, but the ball is still over here. You see? It looks like I take a ball, but I take nothing. Take nothing and put nothing away. So you think I'm putting the ball away, but I put nothing away, you stupid people. Wake up. Holding the ball like this and rolling the cup back and forward and letting it go at the last second makes it look like it comes out from the cup. But now you see it go in the pouch. How many balls are in the middle? How many? 3. I just put 1 away. There's 2. How can it be 3? If you want 3, you can have 3. All right. All 3 balls at the same time in the pouch. And now all 3 balls are going to appear under whatever cup you say. You've been watching like a hawk. Tell me any number. 1, 2, or 3. The cup you say, they'll all be under. 1, 2, or 3. Which one? Number 1. You can have number 1. All right. Number 1. Hey. Oh! Look at that. It's a pomegranate. It didn't matter. I had you covered. You see, over here is an apple. Over here is an orange. That's all right. That's all right. There's another apple over there. And over here is a glass of wine. Mystery of the cups and balls. Oh, come on. This is all the story. Welcome to believe whatever you like. sometimes makes people squeamish, disgusted, grossed out. I'm aware of that. If you don't want to see it, I don't want to do it. Do you want to see it? Yeah! All right, here, you do it. No, I'll do it. It's all right for me. I've been professionally trained, and also I have this. Special water from India, from the banks of the river Ganges. Water from India. It's a superstition. It keeps me protected. It's like insurance. Water from India. Makes you want to go, huh? To India. I have to loosen up before I do this. Do a couple little stretches. Oh. One of these. Little girl with a princess hat. For those of you who don't know what's happening, I'm in control of the muscles in the throat, the pharynx, and the epiglottis. Those are the muscles above the esophagus. That's where the blade goes into the esophagus, yes. Longer ones later will go further down into other areas like the fallopian tube, I guess. I don't know, somewhere down there. It's all right because I'm protected by this special water from India. The banks of the river Ganges, nothing to worry about. We're safe. We got all the bases covered. We get the water from India.
Oh my gosh.
Nothing. That was a toothpick. Here, this is for the people that like to say it goes in the handle. You want to believe it goes in the handle? This is for you. I'll swallow the handle. And now you can say, I know how it's done. It goes in the spoon. Of course they're solid. And notice the length of the blade. From the base of the hilt to the point, over a ½ meter. The blade length. You can see how far down that goes? And don't take pictures now. If you show it to someone, they'll say he's not swallowing it, it's from the outside. See how far. Something else I'd like to inform you of. I am not a masochist. I respect my health. I'm in fine health. This has no adverse effect on me. I wouldn't do it if it did. And I'm not possessed with an oral fixation. And I'm straight.
Swallow it all the
because it's a dying art. Pardon the pun, but it is. It is. There used to be over 100 sword swallowers 50 years ago. Today there's very few. It's because there used to be over 100 traveling independent carnivals 50 years ago, going up and down the East Coast from the beginning of spring to the end of fall. Every one of those carnivals had a sideshow too, and every sideshow had a sword swallower. It's a fact. Today there are no more sideshows. 0, 50 years, none. I grew up in a carnival family. I used to dream about running away and joining a normal one, but... What's normal? Yours? I had an uncle on my dad's side of the family. He was a sword swallower for a few years. After the war was over, he traveled with carnivals. He taught my brother and I. Mom was real pleased with that. Brother used to swallow swords, no more. He swallowed a sword once, it was way too long. I warned him, he didn't listen to me. He doesn't swallow swords anymore, folks know, but now he has a job working in the parking lot, picking up papers. See him out there doing his cute little move? I'll do it. You guys keep talking, I stop the show and you guys have to wait till somebody takes you out of here, okay? Okay, you guys, you can sit up here. You can't talk while the show's going on. Because if you talk while the show's going on, I stop the show and I wait till your mom or dad takes you out of here, okay? I can be nice and let you sit up here. But if you talk while I'm doing the show, there's a lot of people out there I'm doing the show for, okay? Turn around, look. What a fruitcake. Folks, this is why some animals eat their young. Talk while I'm doing the show. I'm letting you sit up here, okay? Don't talk to me and tell me how to do the show. Did you hear about the carnival that got hit by the hurricane? There was a hurricane that hit the carnival. It was terrible. It knocked down everything, they said, except for those 3 milk bottles. Something a little different for you now, not sword swallowing. It's another one of those things from India though. That's where all these things come from originally. India, fire eating, sword swallowing, laying on beds of nails, walking on hot coals. India, the birthplace of magic. Nowadays there's a big movement with body piercing. Kids pierce themselves everywhere, like the eyebrows, cheek, chin, nose, lip, tongue, navel. Yep. A lot of people don't know body piercing goes back to India as well. It goes back over 5,000 years. They still do it today, but for different reasons. Like when they take vows of silence. Sometimes people stay silent for the rest of their lives. Sometimes for a year, sometimes for 10 days, sometimes for 1 day. Imagine that. Be silent for a whole day. Don't say a single word. Just listen. You might think of something you never thought of before. In India, they start with one of these called a trident. They pinch the tongue first to get the blood out, and then they hit it. Stick it right through. No pain, no blood. Maybe a little. If you want blood, eat it. Oh, come on, I'm not going to do that. I like this because it lets me look out and see people's faces.
Oh, yes.
Swallowing swords, the head is stuck back. All I can do is look straight up at the trees. The real reason why I do these things, folks, is because I like to watch the expressions on people's faces change. I especially like the one when they go, oh, I can't look. But right now, there's some disappointed little faces down here in the front. And, all right, kids, I don't care. I'll do it for you. Here you go. Is that what you want to see? I'm not going to do it. I got something better. Here, notice this. A hammer and a spike. It is a solid spike. If something is a trick, I will expose it. I'll show you it's a trick. The rubber tongue, the bent needle. Not this. This is a solid spike. And in a minute, I'm going to pound this spike into my skull for your entertainment. This isn't for everyone. If you're having a little bit of a hard time with the sword swallowing, don't watch this. This isn't for you. This is for the connoisseurs. If you're squeamish, don't look. Just put your head down. I'll tell you when it's out. You can lift your head up. Because I'm going to do it. I'm going to pound the spike into my skull. So if you're squeamish, don't look. Just put your head down. Now would be a good time. The center of the skull, that would be if you drew an imaginary line from the top of the head into the chin. And from ear to ear, the center of the skull would be exactly, that's it right here. But technically, that is the center of the skull. You don't get your money back. All right, here. Take me home to meet your dad. Maybe it'd be better if I did this so you can't see it. I told you not to look. Don't laugh. I sneezed last week. I nailed a kid to that tree over there. Look, folks, that's entertainment. You can lift your head up. It's out. Water from India. Where's the water come from? India. Does anybody here smoke tobacco? Does anyone have an unlit cigarette? I know not many people smoke these days. Somebody should have one though in a crowd this size. Oh, I got it right here. Thank you, sir. You're one of a dying breed. Thank you. No, look. Put it over here. Sleight of hand. Comes back here. You keep it over here. Comes back here. Then back here. Yeah. Here, this is the one that's going to help you quit. All right, like it really happened. No. More painful version of this stunt, the eye orifice. Eye! Well, how do you do it? How do you smoke those things? German people smoke cigarettes like this. They do. You know why that is? It's because when they smoke them like this, they burn their lips. Excuse me for smoking. I don't want to be a bad influence on the children. Kids, you know these are bad. Don't ever smoke. They're not good. You know that. Don't smoke. I don't smoke. Except for when I do this stupid trick. So I do the trick 20 times a day. Smoke ring. Smoke rings. I used to be the champ. Watch again. This time a square. I wish you people could see your faces looking for a square. There was a man who used to work in sideshows. He was a very incredible performer. This man went by the name of Prince Randian. They called him the human steamroller, the caterpillar man, or the living torso. This man was born with no arms and no legs. He never wanted anyone to feel sorry for him. He got around fine. He saw the world. He had a wife and 2 sons. His sons would bring him out and set him on top of a small table, a little bigger than this one here. A torso and a head. And he would show people how he could do unbelievable things that were actually not quite ordinary for him, like shaving himself. He was always clean shaven, and he would shave himself with a straight razor, holding a straight razor up against a block of wood with his shoulder. He'd move his face down to get a clean shave. Then he'd switch shoulders and do the other side. He could also roll his own cigarettes. He was very proud of that fact. He would take a thin cigarette paper, crease it with his chin, grab a can of tobacco in his teeth, shake the tobacco into the paper, and then proceed to roll a cigarette. This is long before they knew cigarettes were bad for you. Roll the cigarette, and you get the cigarette in his mouth, and he'd light it, and strike a match, hold a little match in his teeth, and strike the match and light the cigarette. And he'd smoke it, and he'd talk to the people and answer questions. And he was a very courageous man. When the cigarette got really small, he performed a little stunt. It was passed on to me by an old man who knew him. The cigarette's still burning here. Wait. Look. I'm all right. I got it. Heartburn. Yeah.
Heartburn.
This next blade here is a Malaysian Chris. Notice the blade starts very small, gradually gets wider and wider. The blade moves from side to side. Watch the Adam's apple. As this one goes down, you can see the Adam's apple move from side to side as well, like this. The Adam's apple is not like that from the sword. It's normal for anyone's Adam's apple to do that. You all have that flexibility as well. It's just that you've never checked. If you look around now, you'll see people checking too. Another one of those moments where the audience amuses me. I look out there and see 10 or 20 of them. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know who you are. It's all right. The others usually say, oh, I'm too cool. I'll wait till I get to the parking lot, but they do. They do, I know, because my brother works in the parking lot. He tells me. Chucky's back. It's for the kids. It's all for the kids. There's another one from India. Here's one from India, from the repertoire of the Hindu rubber boy. Watch this. This one happens on the table. Watch the hands on the table. The hands. One hand stays forward, one hand turns. One hand stays forward, the other hand turns the same direction, 180 degrees, a little bit more, then grab the thumb and pull it all the way around and get it's a hereditary thing. Rubbery elbows. Runs in the family. I got it from my mom's side of the family. See the elbows? They bend both ways. Just the left side. The thumbs are even worse. Take a look. Listen. You can hear it solid. You can see into the handle. It's a clear handle. There isn't a possible way it will collapse. There'll always be a few people that'll say, don't believe it. It has to be a trick. There will always be skeptics. Skeptics. This time, I won't even touch the handle when it's on its way out. By taking a bow with it inside me, the weight of it alone will force it to eject itself. But once it's all the way down, I am going to twist the handle around a couple times clockwise. Because last show, I think I did it counterclockwise and my butt almost fell off backstage.
Ouch. Tight. Tight.
Tongue, now it's time to do the eyeball. Using the handle of the spoon, I'm going to pop my eyeball right out of the socket for you folks. You can come this far, you can handle it. It's for the kids. The kids love this one. The eyeball hangs down here on my cheek. I close the other eye. The kids hold up their fingers and I guess the numbers. Here we go, kids. Yeah, right. Like I'm really going to do that. You kids know you never put anything close to your eyes. It is so stupid. The eyes are the most delicate of all. Never put anything close to your eyes. Besides, there's a soft spot at the bottom eyelid. To get anything in there, it's like, water from India! Fun with the kids. All right, I've got one last thing. I saved the most dangerous stunt for last. I mean it, kids. These things are dangerous. Don't try these things. Also, I want to take a minute to introduce myself. My name is Johnny Fox. It's a stage name, of course. My real name is John Fox. It's 25 years for me here at the Maryland Renaissance Festival. 25 years. Also, I'm sharing the stage, very tickled about sharing the stage with the longest running act in Renaissance Fair history, Puke and Snot. Up next to this stage, you'll just folks who will witness the longest running act in Renaissance Fair history, Puke and Snot. They're here this weekend and next weekend, or last weekend. And now, risking possible asphyxiation for your amusement. Hold on. I don't like that.
We're talking
I'm losing my...
like a Trump.
Oh. I know he's going down.
Almost got an aneurysm.
Yeah, that's entertainment.
Yeah, look at this, kids. Robin Hood. Poof. William Tell. Poof. Kevin Costner. Poof, poof, poof. Hercules. Ugh. Favorite movies from my childhood? Alfred Hitchcock. The shower scene in Psycho. Harold and Maude. A Man Called Horse. No, forget that one. Don't forget, kids, eat your beans.
These beans me some fruit.
kid, what's your favorite animal? What do you want? A puppy dog. I can make a Shih Tzu. How's that? No, I'll take care of this. I know what to do.
Tiger.
So what do you do for work? It's great having a job making people laugh and smile and forget about the other crazy stuff that's going on. You guys enjoy the rest of your day here at the festival. If anyone's waiting for the balloon to come back, mañana.